Since everyone got up in arms about me doing memes about Europeans, saying that, like, oh, these memes aren't all correct. Like, how dare you not know? You dumb American. I figured now I would try to be dumb. But this time in the direction of Australians, because if these aren't true, I will not know. And everyone in the comments from Australia will be like, you should have known this, and I won't.
In Australia, we don't lock our doors because we're scared of armed intruders. We lock our doors to keep the ruse out.
Oh my goodness, not the ruse!
A rare image of an American and an Australian in a public bathroom at the same time.
Man! Australians be using toilets way different. That's crazy. I didn't realize you guys did like the anti-gravity piss maneuver.
The end of Australia. Australia versus Pluto. I had no idea they had beef.
Oof,
Australia man caught a sea monster with no eyes and a mouthful of sharp teeth.
Oh my gosh. What the heck?
I feel like Australia is where the devil keeps his pets.
I agree. The craziest animals just spawn from Australia somehow. And it's like, yep, makes sense.
Alternative human
I never
evolution.
questioned.
That's just an Australian.
Oh, this is what an Australian looks like. Got it. Got it. Okay, so then now I know how to identify, you know, an Australian person from a regular... I mean, a person from anywhere else.
Burn the whole country. Oh, damn. My bad. A cow...
Oh my gosh. Isn't spider season like all year long with Australians? There's actually a season that there are more spiders. I thought just like... I thought this was like all year round. That you guys had cursed creatures about.
A cow caught casually eating snake in outback Australia.
Yum! Delicious snack! Gummy worm. Except for a little bit more dangerous.
I'm confused as to how the food chain works in Australia.
Same.
Australian farmer celebrates rain falling on farm for the first time in months after the Australian bushfires 2020.
Oh man, he looks so happy. I wonder how often it rains. Or maybe that's a bad question. Maybe it's gonna be like, oh, Rosie, it always rains, but only in, like, one part of Australia. You can't assume all part of Australia is the same.
Australians have accidentally been eating a fish unknown to science. Thank goodness. Usually it's the other way around. Fish unknown to science is eating Australian.
True. True. Australians are still coming out on top in this case, you know?
Save the animals in Australia. The animals. Yeah, very funny. Let's all laugh at Australia for having all the deadly animals. 2 of those aren't even real dummies.
Oh my gosh. Alright, which one aren't real? I feel like all of these can't be real. This guy has to be, though. That's a funny shape. He's a friend shape. He has to be real. Don't...
Wait, what? Why do so many people
ruin my
think
dreams.
spiders are evil and out to get you? Look at this nerd run away in an overly dramatic cartoonish way just because something touched its butt. Hashtag spot the Australian. Punching
Yeah, I was
sharks.
gonna say, that's not cute. That's copium. Alright, you're desensitized.
Now declared Australia's national sport. Each year, in an Australian park, hundreds of people bring their handmade cardboard creations to battle with other participants in a giant cardboard war known as Box Wars.
Bro, this is great. This is the best thing I've ever heard of. What the heck?
The Mediterranean Sea fits perfectly inside of Australia. Australia, do this. If this happened, it would drown nearly 5 people.
Oh my god. Right, because most of the people in Australia, I think, okay, I actually know this. Most of people in Australia live towards the outside because the further in, it gets, like, not hospitable, right? I could be wrong there, but that's the joke, right? Because, like, nobody's living, like, in these sections, really. Right? A lot of it is, like, people don't live in there.
Australians women national team lose 7-0 to a team of 15-year-old boys. How about no?
Oh.
Is this a Halloween decoration or a picture of a...
Oh my god. Which one of these is a Halloween decoration and which one of these is just a house in Australia, please?
house in Australia? The most dangerous flightless bird in Australia is sitting under a beach umbrella, stealing grapes. Are you going to tell what's basically a dinosaur that it can't have your grapes or beach spot? Because I'm not.
I'm not gonna tell it can't.
The
I'm not
quokka is a
messing with that.
marsupial native to Australia. They aren't afraid of humans and approach them frequently. Evolution's apology for the fact that every other animal in Australia wants to rip your face off.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right? You need at least one redeemable specimen that somehow stays alive through it all. It's like the comic relief of Australia. It's right here. You know, it's like the one thing to make you smile and laugh in between, like, being absolutely terrified for your life by everything else.
Hashtag Sydney Storm. Non-Australian. I got hit by a hailstone. It hurts. Oh yeah, those spikes are brutal. The what now? This is a sea pickle.
The what? What is that? I've never seen a hailstone. I've heard of hailstorms, but, like, I've never seen, like... Ugh.
This is a sea pickle, a blob of pyrosomes that live in the ocean. This one was caught off the east of an Australian coast. Bro caught his snap.
I feel like this is a Pokemon. I feel like this is a Pokemon for sure.
Thousands of people plan to attend a barbecue in front of the home of a vegan Australian woman who took her neighbors to court over the smell of meat cooking in their own backyard.
What? Also, this is like the most dedicated barbecue of my life. Is it made of all the big spiders? Is that where all this meat is coming from?
Australia is mental. This is an actual photo of a dog eating a shark while two snakes fight to the death. Australian drug addict.
So is that like a normal Tuesday for Australians, I guess? Is that just like a normal day?
Up as cop and raids another drug addict's home. The hunt is on for the culprit who stole a giant 10-meter high mango in Australia over...
What? What? Why?
Australian news. Where did the man go?
Where did the man go? I get it. Hilarious.
How Australian can you get? This guy was 6 foot tall. Fun Australian fact. This kangaroo is waiting for pursuers to come into the water with him, where he will try to drown them. They are extremely good at it.
Oh my god! Is that a real thing? Kangaroos do this? Why is there not any pictures of kangaroos, like, in water at all? Like, kangaroos are kind of normal in zoos, like, I don't know. But, like, I've never seen just regular pictures of them in water at all. Is this, like, a common thing? Do we just, like, keep this from the public eye? Because it's, like, this just looks weird. I have never thought of seeing a kangaroo just hanging out in water even.
Pursuers to come into the water with him, where he will try to drown them. They are extremely good at it. This guy really flew here, all the way from Australia. Australia is beautiful. See a hawk literally throw a snake at an innocent family.
Oh my god!
This really reassures me about my upcoming Australia work trip. In 2000.
It could be raiding snakes!
2013, an Australian man set up a ghost catching camera. Instead of ghosts, he caught his girlfriend doing it with his own son.
Ew, what
Australian McDonald's is pooping on American...
Alright, to be fair, about that video cam footage, that's just cursed humans in general. That's not an Australian thing. We're disappointed in humanity in every culture, I feel like.
McDonald's, what the hell? Rare mutated golden Australian possum is named Pikachu.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
A possum broke into an Australian bakery and ate so many pastries it couldn't move. This is how they found him.
This is the most relatable specimen to an American in this whole video. Americans can relate to this guy. Packing it away. Eating all the pastries.
My dad got jumped by a kangaroo today. Damn. 1 week in Australia. That's a lot going on. Lemurs sharing a meal. I thought this was a new spider.
I know, I literally had a minute where I thought that was a spider.
Australia.
Slightly a jump scare.
Australian animals will kill you. Don't get me wrong. He wants to. He just can't.
That's gotta be... That's not real. This looks like two different animals meshed together with AI.
Australian Prime Minister says he didn't poop his pants at McDonald's in 1997. 100% chance this guy
Yeah. Who says that unless they actually did? That's what they all say, Mr. Prime Minister.
His pants at McDonald's in 1997. My friend left her window open in her bedroom and came back to find this. Look at his self-satisfied little face.
He's very cute. This is like the equivalent of how, like, Americans stumble upon cats. Except for you guys just have, like, weird Pokemon. I'm just glad it's not a spider, because I feel like if I didn't see this picture and I read this, I would immediately assume it was, like, some type of, like, cursed bug.
Australia. If there was a post to describe Australia, this is it. Having an Australian accent is like being sent to prison for a crime I didn't commit. Being Australian is because of a crime you didn't commit. Cruel.
I mean, he's cooking with this post.
Never forget, first ever Olympics gold medal was won because the guy was coming dead last and everyone in front of him fell over.
Wait, really? Oh, man. I feel like we take those. I mean, because, like, what does that say about everyone else? It's not like everyone else had a better specimen. You're gonna sit there and tell me that, like, oh, my victory is not good enough because everyone else fell over? Why all the rest of you fall over? If it was so easy, why are you guys so bad? I'm just saying, in defense.
Hero. How do Australians reproduce? We throw a boomerang and whoever catches it is our designated mate.
I see. I didn't realize you guys had such different reproductive methods. Noted.
Why is a kangaroo smashing a pig?
No!
Why is the duck watching? Why is there a 10-foot tall guy with a spear in the back? Australian man involved in a shark attack beats shark to death with his own severed leg. Do you—
What the— Are you sure this wasn't a section of Elden Ring? I can't tell. It's like, when you see a story like this, there's only two options. Souls game or Australia? Final answer. There's at least a 50% likelihood if you choose one of the two.
Australian man involved in a shark attack beats shark to death with his own severed leg. Do you know what to do if you're bitten by a tarantula hawk wasp?
No.
Hold on. By a—
Yeah, what the— I've told this story before, okay? But one time I had a hornet. It was like a giant hornet. That I found in my house. It was like the size of my hand, like the inner part of my hand. And I did a triple take because I had never seen a bug that big in my life. I had never seen a bug that big in my life. I thought for a minute, I literally had to look twice. I was like, that's real. And what sucked even more is my cat was like slapping it. I was like, oh my God. Luckily my cat was fine. And the hornet was like, zzz, zzz, but like did not bother them. And I got my cat to get away from it. And the scariest thing to me, okay? The scariest thing is that I was looking at it and I was like thinking of like killing it, right? And I was like, this is so big. There's like I can't guarantee it's gonna die. Like, cause how big it is compared to like my shoe even. Like I'm too scared. And then I thought of escorting it out, right? Like coercing it out. And then I was like, the cup I would have to put it in. Like, it's so big that I couldn't like put a cup over it without like getting its legs and pissing it off. So I literally had to get like I had to get a pot and I put a top over it and I could hear it, like I could feel the vibration of him getting mad, like buzzing in it, and I was crying. I was visibly crying the whole time. I even took a picture for my friend and I was like, what kind of bug is this? What is this? I had never seen one IRL and I was like, it's kind of like a wasp, but it's fat. It's kind of like a bee, but it's too big. And like, I literally could not figure out entirely what it was. And so I asked a couple of my friends. It was confirmed a hornet. It was a giant hornet too. It was actually one of the bigger ones when it comes to hornet. I don't know if it was a queen, but it was very big. I was crying when I escorted it out. I do have the picture still somewhere. I showed it on an old stream, but I'd have to go hunting for it.
What? If I was an Australian magpie, would you guys still like me? Answer me. Australian young dad almost made his
I feel like magpies are so cute.
Child blind. Andrew, 28 years old dad, couldn't stop his kids' cryings, so he poured no tears shampoo directly into his eyes. This is horrible. There was a man named Joseph who escaped an Australian prison so many times they built a special cell just for him. He escaped that as well.
Oh my God!
In Australia, we called them trachydacks. I'm starting to think you Aussies are just fucking with us. We actually aren't, and that's the horrendous part.
Oh no. Nah, this is what we would do for fun anyways. It's got nothing to do with you.
My Australian friend falling into the sky after I break his ground harness. Baby kangaroos, saved from the Australian wildfire. You know what really annoys me about Australians? They call McDonald's Macca's.
Really? Why do you call it Macca's? Huh.
Friend just went out for dinner, and this guy turned up at the window like he had a reservation. So this bird lands on the deck, takes a poop, and then looks at me like he wants to start a fight. Monty
Doesn't everything in Australia want to start a fight by default, except for like the little round guys that are the little rodents that are smiling all the time?
Bought a kangaroo and let it go in the house. Sometimes I get mad at Australian stereotypes, but then I remember that my backyard looks like this.
Oh my god. That's so scary!
Who would win? Every creature in Australia, every Florida man.
Oh, man. Oof. I feel like Australians would win because they just have some, like... They just have some, like, unknown creature specimens.
They would breed. I hate how this is a viable...
Oh, no. I forgot. Just like in Elden Ring, you know, two sides of completely different coins of horrendousness can pair up together and create something even more cursed.
Option. Finally, some good news. Australia is healing. Due to less pollution, Earth is now visible from Australia.
Oh, I see. That's lovely. I knew you guys were an otherworldly specimen.
Listening to this from Australia, that's so sick. Thanks for the support. I didn't say I liked it or it was good. Sounds like shit.
Oh no!
English summer, OMG, I'm melting, it's so hot. Australian summer.
I feel like they're just built different, you know? This is like a normal day for them.
A little hot today. Aussie wife
They live in like Caelid from Elden Ring, and that's like a normal day.
Slammed for packing her husband's lunch. Stop treating him like your child.
What?
Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Dog head versus cat's head. Australia. Well, there's another thing I'll never unsee.
Oh, wow. Cat food.
Wallaby hops along Sydney Harbour Bridge, surprising motorists, so they race cars. Australia accent came from alcoholic slur of early settlers, says expert. I've pretty much never been less surprised by anything. Americas, we need guns to defend ourselves. Melbourne man fights off carjacker with Nescafe Blend 43 jar.
Jeez, this man, at least he's not wasting anything.
New password. Australians, strong. New password. Emus, stronger. Australians aren't real people. Australians, it's not that dangerous.
Ew! Okay, I'm looking away, I'm looking away, I'm looking away, I'm looking away, I'm looking away.
Many tears will be shed in Australia. Roger the Roo dies, age 12. Australian guys encounter great white shark around their boat. I would be saying the same thing.
Yeah, nope.
Man with beer in one hand and a hose in other defends his home from the fire. Australia. Yeah, that's pretty much every...
I feel like Australia has permanent PvP mode in every location. Like, there's always some form of something out to get you.
Ever for us. Accurate. Welcome to Australia, where a fast food restaurant literally made mirrored reflective seagulf-proof packets for their fries, so they don't try to fly down and steal your
Oh my god. That's pretty smart, though. Light fright. Wow.
fries. Australian man makes the ham dog, a hot dog and...
A ham dog? See, they're coming up with cursed things. It's because of all the cursed life they have with the cursed creatures that live there. Someone has to stop them.
Burger combo.
This is an abomination.
You are trying to sleep in Australia. Pig in Australia steals 18 beers from campers, gets drunk, fights cow.
See, even the animals are crazy here.
Western Australia, covered in huge amounts of snake-infested sea foam. Courageous border collie.
Hold on. This looks like a vast root beer float. You know, like that the fizz that's at the top of a root beer float? That's what it looks like he's walking in. But apparently also with snakes.
Courageous border collie leads 900 sheep to safety during Australian bushfire.
What a good boy! Their good boys are even stronger over there. They're like good boys with like a huge buff.
An Australian man typed every number from 1 to 1 million in words, not numbers, on his typewriter. It took him 16 years. I was applying for an Australian citizenship, and the interviewer asked, "Do you have a criminal record?" I said, "No. Is that still required?" Oh my god.
Oh, do I need one of those in order to get in? It's the only way to know you'll survive here, sir.
Newly discovered Australian spiders can swim and eat toads.
Please no. Please no.
I'm never going to Australia.
Same.
Flat earthers claim Australia doesn't exist, and people who live there are paid actors by NASA.
I mean, yeah, I feel like they need some copium, you know? It's pretty scary over there. It's best if we try to believe that they can't exist. They can't be real. Please no.
OMG, I didn't know Google Translate does Australian. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming this evening. Shallows and gentle joeys. Australian helicopter owners are dropping thousands of vegetables to feed the wildlife affected by the Australian bushfires. Footage of an Australian guy fishing from a drone is being investigated by authorities. Rescued this little guy today. Not all animals in Australia want to see you die.
Isn't this like one of the meanest animals there is?
Dorito rewards Australian teenager with $20,000 for finding an air-filled Dorito chip in her bag and then putting it on eBay.
What? I don't know how people do this, I swear. Oh, how it could be an easy life if I found a way to find a cursed-shaped potato chip.
Australians who won't unlock their phones could face 10 years in jail.
What?
As an Australian, I'm sick of all the stereotypes. I go about my day just like the rest
This isn't normal!
of you. The Australian firehawk drops burning sticks into the dry areas to further spread wildfires, thereby catching fleeing prey.
Oh my gosh. I told you the animals are built different over here. It's terrifying.
Australian man pleads guilty to storming animal shelter to get his cat back. Quick, the Australians are asleep. Post pictures of normal outdoor animals.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, these are the normal ones, Australia. Not the kangaroos in the backyard. One of these.
As an Australian, this is all I know about American geography. You went around Texas.
I mean, you're doing better than all Americans.
Australia in films versus Australia in real life. Instagrammer raises $500,000 for Australian bushfires by selling nude photos.
Oh yeah, I heard about this forever ago. I mean, hey. It's for a good cause.
$10. Good job. When an Aboriginal Australian girl graduated college in 2016, her grandfather, an Aboriginal elder who lives on a remote island, traveled almost 2,000 miles to attend the ceremony and dance with her.
That's
Australian
crazy.
problems. If you're ever feeling down, just
Wait. Oh, it's a kangaroo. I get it.
If you're ever feeling down, just remember that 52,000 Australians have signed a petition to change the Australian currency to dollary dues.
Dollary dues! That's very cute. I hope it goes through.
A meteor that flew over Australia looked awfully familiar to the Death Star.
See, this is why they're an otherworldly specimen, and that's why they could see Earth, you know, when they're looking outside, because they don't live on Earth. They're aliens.
Laser. Meanwhile, in Australia, roads subject to melting. Indicators show depth.
What the? The road is melting.
Australia's families live
Also, how is that person, like, weird? That is such a big flex. Why are you wearing flip-flops there? I'd be so scared.
fear of the huge kangaroo haunting their suburban streets. What is going on in Australia? America. Our national bird is the eagle, and it is a beauty, and it symbolizes freedom. India. Our national bird is the peacock, because its beautiful colors represent our country and its glory. Australia. Our national bird is emus, and we hate them, and lost a war against them.
I remember hearing the whole emu story too. It's crazy.
Jamaican's world's second fastest man is visibly stunned after being beaten by a mullet-sporting Australian sprinter whose name he doesn't even know in 100-meter heat.
Oh my.
Australia gifted the royal baby, a pet crocodile that was born on the same day as the royal baby, and thus has been named George. They're twins. Australia reptilian conspiracy to place a croc on the throne.
Oh my god.
Who the hell thinks a crocodile is an appropriate gift for a baby? Australia.
I mean, he must be royalty now. He's the crocodile.
All Australian kids, if you ever feel like you're weak or pathetic, remember, you live in the most dangerous and hostile country, where every creature is murderous and deadly. You're automatically more hardcore than any kid in any other country. This is actually quite
Yeah. I also believe this. I also believe this to be 100% true, and I've never gone there.
uplifting. I love Christmas time. Everyone in the UK, Europe and the US is blogging about snow and fireplaces and keeping warm, whilst here in Australia,
Man, Santa looks different.
With no tourists around, Australian scuba tour operators have planted more than 1,000 pieces of coral at the Great Barrier Reef to help restore the marine ecosystem.
That's great.
Australian man kept unique rock for years, assuming it's gold. It turned out to be a rare 4.6 billion year old meteor.
That man has the best rock collection.
You're right. Yeah.
That's
this
crazy.
This is actually insane. So this thing weighed 200 kg, and they only died 40,000 years
Kana.
ago.
That's like a dog-shaped crocodile. I never considered the horrors of thinking of if crocodiles had longer legs.
Lived in Australia. Nuts.
If I were to think of where the crocodile, you know, with the dog build would spawn, I would guess Australia. That would be its spawning location for sure.